can't believe there's actually rumours that the US government will shut down by October the 1st, but this is actually on Polymarket and there's a 78% chance. That is crazy. With everything that's going on, with the US dollar actually imploding potentially and having no value, with things like silver and gold at all-time highs, the market and the overall economy, the banks buying gold, looks like something isn't right, and that's actually crazy. That's another reason we could potentially see lower prices across the board, maybe, with everything being at all-time highs, and give us a better buying opportunity. We should be happy that this could be on the agenda. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin already actually looks overbought on the 4-hourly time frame, and it is seeing some sell pressure develop from the resistance discussed watching the prior lower high as a possible reversal point. But if it loses this level, it may trigger further pullbacks. We are in neutral, but it looks overbought very quickly on the RSI, which is nasty, which tells me that it may not hold this, man. I'm still a bit skeptical on how things are going, and maybe October, especially the early parts of it, could see some red, because the fresh liquidity usually enters into the market November, December time, and we're in neutral. We may see extreme fear, we may see greed next. I don't know, it's probably 50-50, but the liquidations are building back up on the long side. On the 30-day, the 7-day, and the 1-day. So that's worrying, man. On the 1-day, actually pretty less. So there is more shorts, but on every other level, it doesn't look good. It looks like we are going to see lower prices. That's why I'm a bit reluctant to open positions. The trending altcoins today, nothing significant. Nothing's moving too much. Apart from this smelly meme coin. Actually, look, wow. That is 6x'd overnight. You can get that sort of thing, but the people behind the tokens usually tell the exchanges, and it's so rigged. So you want to be careful on what you're investing in. You'd rather have guaranteed dubs like the Bitcoins, the S&P 500, the things you know you're not going to get scammed in, plus having stop losses, and you'll do pretty well. I've actually heard good things about Horizon and Bluefin. So Bluefin is an exchange token and they do really well. That's on Sui as well. So it is forming sort of a descending wedge, so it could definitely propel higher. It did form this head and shoulder, but it pumped. So if you can get it on a pullback, it's not a bad thing to hold. The tokenomics are disgusting and I wouldn't advocate for that, but if you have a stop loss on, there's no harm in that. Horizon is and has had a bull run before. This could pump hard, especially with it breaking out on the monthly time frame. So that looks very good. And I have seen the website. It's not the most professional in the world, but you could see some gains here. What else is actually moving today? Froggy. Is that another meme coin? Nobody's sausage. I've actually seen that before. Unagi token. Froggy. It still looks rank, that chart, so you have to be careful with anything you're investing in. But CZ Binance is saying that he's not predicting the future, and don't get too excited, but September in the past, crypto cycle. So usually September does form a good buying opportunity. That's what he's trying to say. And I have opened a few trades, I'm not going to lie, because alts also look good. It has broken out. Now if it holds above this line is the main question. But if we don't hold around about 108k, we're probably going to come down to about 106, 105k, and I can see that, especially looking at the liquidations. So I'd say 105k currently is next. In all of Bitcoin's history, if it's closed the month of September green, it has had double-digit month in October. So October could be Uptober, and that's what we're hoping for. But technical analysis is the biggest psyop the market ever created. So powerful it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Ooh, I see support. Yes, so do million of others. They all start buying price bounces, see technical analysis works. The only problem is once we break into new all-time highs, technical analysis loses its edge. Half scream top, the other half scream higher. That's why you see Larry Fink and Michael Saylor on BBC calling BTC to 1 million. The more people believe it, the higher it goes. It's a believer's market, and I do believe that. But you need to know your technical analysis. You need to know your bread and butter, just so you know what the other market participants are thinking too. Tomorrow, 1.3 billion worth of Asta will be unlocked for the airdrop stage 1. Over 700 million tokens, or 8.8% of total supply. The actual circulating supply will go from 5% to 13.8% in one day. Might be a bumpy few days ahead. No way there's a token that people are investing in that can have token unlocks, so they can poof out of thin air, sort of like the fiat currency, sort of like the cash-based system. People are willing to invest without stop losses are crazy. If you believe in projects such as that, I don't know what to say to you, because there's people in my group chat's telling me to short Asta, and it could be priced in, it could go higher, but that's why I didn't buy into that token. Do people seriously in their right minds believe CAS can go to $1? This is what a 50-cent chart looks like. And yeah, it's true. It does look like a descending wedge, which is very nice actually. And hopefully it does pump to the upside. But if people are believing there's not going to be $1, that's what I like to hear, because I want it to go to $1.
This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. A lot of people are saying that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes? If you say yes, I'm saying yes. I think it's great that you're involved. This could be
Crypto Unite still pumping it. Hopefully pumps it even harder. Remember, alt seasons are short, but bear market lasts for years. So you got to be careful and mind your risk, because that is 100% true. Bitcoin dominance apparently is forming alone, should head back up, even though Leia is saying the fear and greed is pulling back. The setup for October is looking epic, so you have to be careful. No. You know the Murad guy, he actually lost all of his money. He went from 50 mil to 10 mil. He held the bag. Imagine how he's feeling, man. It's nasty work. That's nasty, bro. You don't want to be holding memes. That's why it's become more of a rotation cycle. And people are flipping these coins. As soon as they see money, they're taking the money and they're getting out of there. A lot of tokens don't hold weight, but that's why I'm such an advocate for something like Casper, which is fair launch, and the tokens can't be provided afterwards. So you can't actually get tokens and pump them onto the market. You have to buy them yourself, even the exchanges. A similar thing with Omikami, but with Omikami you have to be more careful because it is a meme coin, so it is highly speculative. Even with Casper, to be fair, because crypto is a dangerous game, so you need to know what you're investing into, and you need to expect that your bags could go to zero, but do your research on every project. I just believe in these two currently. With obviously certain other altcoins, but I don't really care about them too much. Obviously Ethereum is digital oil, Bitcoin is digital gold, but I feel like they are overvalued and it is more of a risk. But if you go into the lower caps, it's definitely better to buy the Bitcoins and flip it maybe at 150, 160, even 200k. Let's see what is ahead. But if we get an epic end of the year, that's what we need, man. We need an epic end of the year where alts blast off, some more liquidity into the market, and yeah, we all become rich, right?